Like when you travel, for example, where do people think you are from?
Definitely from part of Africa, and particularly, I would say Sudan.
Is that like the first thing that people would say when they meet you?
They don't really tell me where I'm from, but they will assume that that's where I'm from.
But this, for me, whenever I travel, because not a lot of people know South Sudan or Sudan in general. In most cases, people would say that, "Are you from Senegal?" This is what many people say. Or are you from Nigeria? Of course, they just know Nigeria. Or Ghana. Are you from countries that are you from Kenya and etc. But yeah, so this is what I always hear from people.
Oh, have you ever had an issue with the dreadlocks?
Not really.
Someone never approached you to say, "Do you have something for me?"
Yes, that was impressive. That was my experience in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle of the city, and somebody came to me and he handed me money, and he was expecting me to give him something like a drug or something. And I was laughing. I was like, "What?" I was actually wondering, why is the guy giving me money? And somebody told me, this is the perception. If you have dreadlocks and you're a black guy, people think you are selling drugs. So that was a crazy one.
I remember when we went that corner street in Switzerland. You remember in the evening we were going for walking?
Yeah.
I got scared, and those people in that country, they have bad perception of people like us.
Yeah, but I mean, this is everywhere. It's everywhere in Europe. If you're a black guy, they think that you sell drugs or something. But that's why I travel to many places, because you have to debunk those kind of wrong perceptions. Because I mean, we grow up, we're trained that you have to be very straight. You have to behave in a nice way. You have to aspire to be something else. But that's the thing, and that's for me actually to defy this kind of uh, stereotypes is the one of the main reason why I keep my dreadlocks. I just I just want to tell people, whatever you believe, it's your business. I don't care.
But you remember in 2024 when we went to Juba, and then all the young guy who has dreadlocks, they were getting collected, and the dreadlocks were being cut. But I don't know why they left us. We turn up at the airport, have a lot of dreadlocks, and they think we were like musician. Is that what they said?
Yeah.
They were saying musician.
Yeah.
Within our country as well, people are having that.
They have this perception. This is the legacy of colonialism, because when the European came, particularly the British in our case, when they came, they told Black Africans that there's a certain way that you have to look. Imagine at the time when the whites were here, the British themselves, they heard the African, they had to shave their hair, and then the whites, they did not. So you go to the same school with a white kid, with a white boy, he doesn't shave his hair, but you as a black man, you have to shave your hair, because you are considered, if you grow your hair, you're considered a criminal. Just imagine that. What worries me very much is the fact that, as you mentioned, like in our own countries where we're supposed to have, an understanding that this is a legacy of colonialism, we should know better. But then we continue to follow this. You should shave your hair, 1 inch or whatever, to look good. If you don't, they think that you are not presentable, you are not formal enough. I mean, we just got lucky. Imagine you and I being taken to jail because we had dreadlocks. I mean, that would be funny. But for sure, people think that what you have in your brain or how your brain look. People have suits. Yeah. People dress up so nicely, but they look down on other people. If you decide to keep your hair, like a lot of our young people want to have a dreadlock, they want to do whatever they want with their hair. When I was in high school, I used to have my dreadlocks. Yeah. Someone managed to call my late father and say, "Oh, Nen is having a look. I don't think he's going to be focusing on school." But when I tell him, I said, "Look, I decided to keep my dreadlocks because it's actually serving me money. I don't have to cut my hair every weekend because it's $50. So I just let my hair grow. Whoever believe that they have bad intentions about me, that's okay. So I allow them to do that. Sometimes when I travel and I have my hair done like that, people can say it's different things. Yeah, absolutely. But this is something that you and I, we faced. Also, traveling abroad, you are in some airport and somebody approach you and say, "Can I take a picture with you?" Like, I'm just a normal guy. But it's the same. I always say, if you look at it from an economic perspective, you save money. You save money because you go to see the hairdresser how many times? Like once a month, or even once every 3 months. Every 2 months. So you see, just imagine if you are shaving your hair. You go every few weeks, every 2 weeks or so. I mean, there are benefits, but it's also Our ancestors, you look at people like Mundengbo, all our ancestors, they were keeping their hair. They had long hair. But because the British came, they said, this is how you should look, you shave your head, bald. I mean, I never understand why the obsession with judging people but with the way they look, that you need to dress in it. Okay, I'm okay. I want to wear, a shirt, a suit, but I should not be persuaded by societal perception that if I wear a T-shirt to an event, before you even know me, you haven't heard from me what I have to say. You want to make your own conclusion that I'm somebody who is not presentable, who has nothing in their brain. It's just crazy. Do you intend to cut your dreadlocks?
Sometimes I cut my dreadlock, they come back. I cut them and they come back. So it becomes an issue for me. Seeing 2008, I always cut them and they come back. So I can decide how I want to look whenever I want.
What if you meet a lady, the love of your life, and she tells you, in order for you to marry me, you have to cut the dreadlock. What are you going to do?
No, her problem is not going to be a dreadlock. Her problem would be something.
There are some people that are very obsessed with such things. So be prepared, man. Be prepared.
I don't think if I can do anything or shave myself.
Would you ask her to change something for you?
No.
Okay.
No, so I think when we travel, what is the next country that we need to go and have a good time?
For me, I think we need to visit some few African countries. For me, in the bucket list, in Namibia, Namibia, beautiful country in Southern Africa. I think should be our next destination.
Yes.
And then Namibia or Cabo Verde.
So we can do like maybe 6 countries at once. Because if you do 6 together, maybe 3 days on each one of them.
If you want to go bankrupt, you can do that.
It's easy. You can drive to a neighboring country, so it's actually economically.
But it's good, Africa is working to remove these trade barriers, and it helps a lot. With time, they'll understand that trading, traveling within each other is good for business. Because how do you need a passport to go to Central African Republic? How do you need a passport to go to Congo? Passport or a visa? Why do you need a visa to go to South Africa?
I think African people are working on that,
So this African Free Trade Treaty, once it goes into force, is going to be helpful because there are a lot of young African, and in 2050, it's almost half of the youth in the world are going to be African. So you can imagine what that means. So more people will travel, trade and etc. So it would be good to travel more in Africa but also to see the places before they finish, because these days, like modernization,